So let's switch gears a little bit and touch on um, the destruction of knowledge and real power. What happened? So, as you explained, Aristotle, who was not the first flatterer historically or documented, factual, you cannot tell us that you cannot say he was the original flatterer.
Mm-hmm.
Someone, an individual before him. So,
Mm-hmm.
who was it? The first gentleman that his mission was to destroy knowledge, was to, or
Yeah, it was the kings themselves that wanted to destroy knowledge, right? So all these guys.
Poor people. Why did they want to rule over a poor people?
Why would they want to rule over them? Because it's much easier to control a beast than it is to control a thinking man. So that's what they want. They want you to only be concerned with things that they control. They control pain. They control fear. They control desire, right? So they have all the sweets. They have all the booty. They have all these things that, like, your animal instincts, your right now instincts control. So they can scare the shit out of you. They can torture you, right? But what they don't have control over is eternal things that are not tangible, right? They don't have control over your mind. But they can control your mind if they can allow you to lower yourself into a beast level.
In a flattery level.
In a flattery level, yes. So if you lower yourself to that, then they can control you. So if they can convince you that you and a donkey are the same, and all you need to do is just go and get as much sex as you can for your life, and you'll be a fulfilled person if you get all the sex that you can get, then they control that, and they therefore control you. But if your thing is like, I'm going to raise up my people, they're whoa, what is that? Then you have an objective that they can't really control.
How do they control the destruction of knowledge?
Okay, so first what they do is they have thinkers that they promote, people like Aristotle, right? And over time there's more of them. There's constant, every time period has another version of the same thing that says no knowledge is possible, no new knowledge is possible. Even today you have people like Jordan Peterson that when he's doing his presentations, he'll say things like, all conceptual schemes fail, right? So you're basically doomed to always be coming up with things that are going to be proven wrong later, right? So it's like a fatalistic kind of view of the world. So all you have really to do is you can look at, you have one side of the universe that's like the feelings, do whatever you feel, whatever, and then the other side is like the strict dogma of religion, right? Because he's saying the same thing. You can't use your brain. All conceptual schemes fail.
Okay.
That's what Jordan Peterson today. So I'm saying these guys they haven't stopped. They're always the people that promote the oligarchy are always going to be saying exactly the same thing, but it'll be adapted for the time period, right? So like today, Jordan.
So today, your Jeff Bezos, your Bill Gates, aren't they for the people? Like Bill Gates had his whole, he talked about a cellular threat. What do you call it? Like
viral
threat to the people that could kill or affect humanity as we know it. And he started with started the whole process to get us off, to get us on, so that we can all be safe. Like, aren't they? This is an oligarch that did this, is it not?
Well, first of all, when I say oligarchs, I don't actually necessarily mean guys like Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates. I think more of people whose names you don't know. People like, and like the people that would surround the queen. Those are more like the oligarchs, right? Okay. And these guys are more like new money. They got rich, and now their ideology will conform to that older thing, but they're not the creators of this stuff. They're more like Aristotle. They're the ones who will say the thing that the queen likes, and then she'll promote them because they're saying what she wants to hear.
Okay.
Right? But no, I wouldn't say that they have any. I mean, their objective will always be to maintain their position or to maintain the game being played in the way that they have it. So right now, they don't necessarily have to love each other, right? But they just want to make sure that they only fight each other for power and that we're not in the competition.
Okay.
They're okay with fighting each other for power, but they want to make sure that the game is in a way that none of us can play. And they will always make it that way. That's why even if they legalize marijuana, they're still going to make it in a way that not the regular person can just be growing it in their backyard. They don't want that. They want to make sure that they got to change the laws first and change the regulations. Okay, so now only the rich people can do it. Okay, now it's allowed. Or the rich people have a huge head start. Okay, now it's allowed.
Sounds like legalization of marijuana.
Oh yeah, I don't think that's why it took so long. They had to figure out, okay, how can we make sure that how can we tax this and tax that, make the permit cost this, make that. You have to go 3 years over here. And they wanted to make sure that they're the only ones that could do it. The same way in Halliburton, right? When they knock over a country and then they win the only bid, they make sure first they make the rules that whatever company is going to get this contract has to be able to do all this stuff. And then Halliburton's the only one that could do all that stuff, so they win. And they're like, "What do you mean? We're the only ones who could do it. How are you saying this is corrupt?" It's really sneaky, but
so the real power is universal law,
an understanding of universal law,
and the understanding of it.
Yeah,
and the destruction of the knowledge is confusing us to a point where we no longer recognize universal law.
Yeah, and to some point we believe that it doesn't exist because there's some parts of us. Everybody wants to be smart, right? Everybody wants to be the smart guy. So the thing is, what if there's a rich guy, an oligarch that comes and says, "Hey, what you believe, your truth is just as important as that smart guy's truth." So everybody is excited. Yeah, I'm smart too, right? So everybody wants to have that same authority, right? That's why you have all these people right now. If you go through YouTube, everybody that's pretending to be an expert at everything. It's because of this thing. And the oligarchs love that. They love that we all want to be experts without having to do the work to develop the expertise. So that's what they're always going to promote that. They're going to promote, you can be an expert overnight. You're just as smart as him. Your ideas are good. So that's why it's like, it's not that they believe in any one of the philosophies that we have. They don't care what you believe as long as it's on a whim that you chose it. They want everybody to be choosing on a whim. They want everybody to think that they're just as authoritative as the next guy. They want your confidence to be deep. They want you to really know, I'm for, I'm against, I know, and they don't want you to be able to discern when you're being foolish. Like there was somebody that I was explaining this to yesterday. Somebody was telling me about how they put phones and they was making their phones stick to them. I did a video with the person and I was like, and I took my phone and I stuck it to my arm. I just wet it and I stuck it. I'm like, so, but they weren't willing to believe it because now everybody is like, no, but that's what I believe, so it has to be right. So even when they see information that conflicts with it, they're not really concerned about that because everybody wants that authority, and that's what these guys say. They say, we're going to give authority to everybody, make us the popular ones. Everybody can have this authority. You want to be you want to be the smart guy. You want to be the smart guy. You want to be the smart guy. Here you go. Everybody can be the smart guy. So then now, if you're saying that you're going to be the one doing it, then you're taking away from every individual their ability to be the leader. Mm-hmm. So they're going to hate you for that, right? Because it's like nobody's going to want to listen to that. Nobody's going to want to say, wow, sure, I'm going to defer. And now that everybody getting the chance to be the celebrity and everybody gets the chance to be the center of attention and get all this authority. Now, if you want to come and tell them the truth and say, hey, the truth is all of you guys are full of shit. All of you are full of shit. then no, they're going to chop your head off and they're going to put Aristotle up because he's telling them that they're all great, they're all wonderful, they're all just as smart as everybody else, right? So that's what it is. That's why you have bankers now that consider themselves to be hip hop heads, and they can be their opinion on rap is just as important as yours, even though you grew up in the culture. There's no authority. There's no legitimate authority anymore. It's something that can just be given away.
So real power is just lives in the universe and is just true and real and factual. And the destruction of the knowledge is by creating fanfare, if you will, around the flattery to mute or to quiet or to make the real power unattainable, the truth unattainable.
Yeah. So if there's a whole crowd of us all shouting, so one person's telling the oligarch, you guys are bad, and I can tell you why. So what? There's a million other people saying their opinion. So we're just it's just a crowd of noise. Everybody's saying noise. So that one voice that used to be able to destroy them is crowded out. And it'll be at the back of the line. That's why you'll see the best videos on YouTube have less than 100 views.
Interesting.
You'll never those videos will never and you can see videos that are from like 1990, and those ones will still have the videos were recorded in 1990s, but let's just say a video that was put onto YouTube in like 2000, early 2000, and it might have like 200 views, but it's like it's a super filled with knowledge, but it's never going to make it to the one that's like a cat or some armchair quarterback talking about politics or whatever the thing is, right? As long as they follow the flatterer way.